Lesson 11.4 is join and separate angles. The essential question is, how can you determine the measure of an angle separated into parts? Let's do the investigation. We're going to use construction paper. I'm just going to use regular paper, but you can use construction paper or regular paper if you want to try this. Draw an angle that measures exactly 70 degrees and label it angle ABC. So you're going to use that protractor, draw the straight line, put the dot of your protractor on one end of your ray, go 70 degrees on that, and draw that. So here's my angle, and I did label it ABC. Like they said, angle ABC with a 70-degree angle. They say, now go ahead and separate your angle ABC by cutting it into two parts. Begin cutting at the vertex here and cut between the rays. Okay, so I'm going to do a cut starting here and through somewhere in here. So I separated them by cutting into two parts and from the vertex. So here's my separation. It formed two angles, this angle and then this angle. So it formed two angles. They asked me to use a protractor to measure the two angles I formed. I did measure this, so I had put the protractor on here, and this measured up to 20 degrees, and then this, you could see the protractor is on this C ray, and that measured to 50 degrees. And so here I am with 20 degrees and 50 degrees, two different angles, a 20 degree and a 50 degree when I cut my initial angle apart. 20 degree plus 50 degree equals 70 degrees, which was the angle I began with. In part F, it says, join the two angles, compare measure of ABC to the sum of the measures of its two parts, the two parts that I cut, and explain how they compare. So here I've joined them back together. I had this 20-degree angle, I had this 50-degree angle, and when I put them back together again, that's a 70-degree angle. So the sum of the two angles is the same as the original angle, which makes sense, right? I think you kind of pictured that that was going to happen. We'll draw some conclusions about that. What if I had cut angle ABC into two different angles? Let's say when I cut it up, it was a 30-degree angle on one and a 40-degree angle on another. What can we conclude about the sum of the measures of these two angles? We're going to conclude, of course, that when we put them back together again, they're going to be that 70-degree angle again. Let's take that conclusion a little further. What if I had cut it into an angle that was 60 degrees? What would the other angle be from the 70-degree angle? Right, it would be 10 degrees because they're going to add together to 70 degrees. Seth cut angle ABC into three parts. Draw a model that shows two different ways he could have separated his angle. Okay, one way we could have had it, here's my 70-degree angle. What if I cut 20 degrees off here and 20 degrees here? What's the remaining going to be? I have 20 and 20 more. That's 40. How much more makes up that 70-degree angle? Yeah, that would be 30 degrees. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 degrees total. What if I went really small and I did a 5-degree here and a 5-degree there? There's 10 degrees. How much more to get me to 70 degrees? Yeah, I need 60 degrees to get there, so that would be a 60-degree angle. So there's two different ways we could have cut it. Would they want us to write a sentence that compares the measure of an angle to the sum of its parts? Okay, I think this is what they're after. If I have angle ABC, and then I cut it at ray D, then what I can say is this angle plus this angle will equal this angle, right? But let's use our math shorthand here. The measure of angle ABD, measure of angle ABD added to the measure of angle DBC, the measure of angle DBC is equal, so this angle added to this angle is equal to the measure of angle ABC, measure of angle ABC. There's our very fancy, almost looks like a foreign language math sentence that explains this, that this angle plus this angle adds together to this angle. looks like a foreign language, but now I think it's starting to become a clear language to you, mathese, right? In the Make Connections, they say that we can write the measure of the angles shown in a circle as a sum. And remember, all the angles in your circle add up to 360 degrees. We've talked about that in a previous lesson. So as we measure these, our double check will be when we add them all together, do they in fact equal 360 degrees? They say use a protractor to find the measure of each angle. Actually, I don't feel like I need the protractor for this particular angle right here, right? This straight angle. Hopefully by now you recognize, if not measure it, but hopefully by now you recognize that a straight angle is 180 degrees. These ones, though, we'll need to measure. I'm going to get my protractor out and measure this one, and then that one. You can go ahead and do the same. The measurements I got for BCD is 85. Let's see, 85 degrees. And the measurements I got for BCA is 95 degrees. So let's do the part. We have ABD at 95 degrees. ACB was 95 degrees. BCD is 85 degrees. And ACD is 180 degrees. When we add those together, I hope that we end up with 360 degrees. If not, we did something wrong. And when I add those together, I do, in fact, get 360 degrees. So the three parts will always add to the whole. All right, now it's our chance to just practice this. Add to find the measures of the angle. Write an equation to record your work. We have angle PQT. We know what PQ, I don't know, they didn't give me a letter here. Let's call it Y. We know what PQY is, 43 degrees, and we know what YQT is, 37 degrees. So all we need to do to find out what PQT is to add those together. So we would take 43 degrees, add it to 37 degrees to find out how much that is. That's 10, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 80 degrees. So 43 plus 37 equals 80 degrees. That's our equation they wanted us to write, and there's our angle measure. Let's take a look at this one. We have angle JKL, but it is cut here at 90 degrees, and then the extra bit is another 10 degrees. So we have 90 plus 10 will equal a total of 100 degrees, so the angle is 100 degrees. Feel free to try this one without me, and then push pause and then push play when you've got it. Okay, I have angle SHR. I want to know what that whole angle is. I know that this angle is 55. The next one is 27, and the next one is 78. I'm going to line those up off on the side here so I can do the addition. This is 15, 5 more is 20. This is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the whole thing is 160 degrees. So if you get questions like that, hopefully you're confident about those. We just use our addition skills. On this part, use a protractor to find the measure of each angle. We're circles, right? So we know they should all add to 360 degrees. Label each angle with its measure and write the sum of the angle measures for the equation. All right, so I'm going to need to get my protractor out, and this is great practice for you on your protractor. This is your vertex of each of the angles, so make sure you line up the dot to your protractor on this, and then use one of the lines and go to there. So go ahead and do your measurements. All right, let's check our measurements with each other. I got this one is a 120 degree angle, this one is a 105 degree angle, and this one is a 135 degree angle. When I add those all together, 120 plus 105 plus 135, 120, 105, 135. 5 plus 5 is 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 360 degrees. Win. Okay, ooh, and now we've got 4 angles to put together. Go ahead and measure those. It's good practice with the protractor to measure those, and then you can compare them to mine. Okay, here's the measurements I got on that. Then if I add those together, I should get 360 degrees. If I didn't, then I might want to remeasure a few things. And actually, I did have to do that when I paused. So there's 10, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And there it is, 360 degrees. 90 plus 90 plus 45 plus 135 equals 360 degrees, just like it's supposed to. That's all this lesson is. So go ahead and go on Think Central, give it a try. Let me know if you need additional help. Actually, I'm going to do one more with you because I just noticed another problem on there that you might come across. So this is just like a puzzle. What if they do this to us and give me a question mark? Well, this relies on us remembering that a straight angle is 180 degrees. So we know that all of this is going to add up to 180 degrees. I know that I have a 75-degree angle right here. I know that I have an 85-degree angle right here. I don't know what this angle is, but I know that altogether it's going to need to add to 180 degrees. So let me add these two together. 75 plus 85, that's 160, plus some unknown number. We're going to call it x for right now, some unknown number. I don't know what it is yet, but these two added together is going to be 180 degrees. Well, what's the only number I can replace this with that adds to 160 and ends up giving me 180? 20, right? 20 degrees is the only number that I can put there to make that true. So this angle must be a 20-degree angle. So think of it like a puzzle where you need to just find that missing piece. That's algebra. It's a puzzle. I have an unknown amount, but I have pieces of information I know. I can be the detective and figure it out. You'll probably see questions like that as well. So I wanted you to see that. I think now you're ready to go ahead and go on Think Central.